Hello friends, welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and if this is the first video of mine that you're catching, welcome. My name is Rachel. I'm a reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, and I love sharing strategies with you of what's working in my reseller business, sometimes what's not working, and just overall sharing my reseller life with you all. So today I want to talk about something that's probably on everybody's mind right about now, and that is taxes. I want to talk today about some of the mistakes that resellers make when it comes to taxes and when it comes to tax time. So if you want to hear my thoughts on this subject, definitely stick around. I do want to preface this by saying this is not intended to be tax advice. If you want actual tax advice, please contact a tax professional. This is just sort of some best practices that I have encountered along the way, some things I've implemented into my own reseller business to make tax time easier for me, and mostly just to give you some food for thought on things that may set you up for success when it comes to tax time. So if you like reseller content, certainly consider subscribing to the channel. I love sharing reseller strategy, tips and tricks, things like that with you guys. So I would love to see you around in a future video. Hit that like button if you could, and let me know in the comments if you feel comfortable sharing what is your biggest pain point when it comes to taxes in your reseller business. So biggest mistake I've made in the past, and a mistake you may have actually already made this tax season if you are watching this video, is waiting too long to start the filing process. So I'm filming this video in mid-March of 2026, which means the tax deadline to file is only a couple of weeks away, less than a month away. And I'm not talking about like waiting till the deadline to file, especially if you owe money. I've had to do that in the past, to wait till the actual deadline, because after compiling my taxes, owed money. And so instead of filing and having to pay it right away, I would give myself that time to, have the money available to then pay the taxes before the deadline. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like, okay, it's the end of March, the beginning of April. I haven't even started yet. I would say that is a big mistake, because if you find yourself needing additional information, maybe you have to go back and get additional documents or whatever the case may be, the day to find out you're missing information is not 2 days before the tax deadline. And I do believe there's fees and things like that that are associated with filing your taxes after the tax deadline. You just don't want to get yourself in a situation where you're filing after the deadline and you're facing penalties or fees or anything like that. And if you wait too close to the deadline to start compiling your data and figuring out your numbers, you could run into that situation. Especially, like I said, in my case, that's happened to me in the past. If I've owed money and then I have to come up with that money right away or pay interest on the amount that I owe if I can't pay it right away. So I would say the sooner the better that you can start actually getting your tax documents together and starting the filing process, the better it is for you. Get it done, get it over with. And coming up here in a minute, I will share with you some of the tools I use and ways that I make sure that I stay on top of compiling all my documents and keeping everything together so that when tax time comes around, I'm not scrambling to gather all the information. The next big mistake I see resellers making is assuming that you did not make enough money to need to claim that income on your taxes. So a lot of times you will hear numbers specific like $600 or $20,000, and resellers will assume I don't have to file because I didn't make $600 on this platform, or I didn't make $20,000 as a whole in the previous tax year. So I don't need to claim all of this as income. And this, of course, comes into play a lot for people that are casual resellers, maybe hobby resellers, or that the reselling is not their sole source of income. I didn't actually start reselling full-time until 2023, so this was me for a lot of years. I was just kind of doing it as a side hustle. I think it's important that you understand what those numbers actually are, and instead of assuming that just because you didn't make a certain amount throughout the year that you don't have to claim the income. Those numbers, $600 and $20,000, are thresholds. And the $600 threshold was in effect for a few years, basically just saying any platform, we're talking eBay, Poshmark, Venmo, PayPal, anything that money's being exchanged, and or payments are being exchanged or sent to you, they would need to send you a 1099 if you met that threshold in the given tax year. So, for example, if you made at least $600 on Poshmark in that tax year, Poshmark would have to send you a 1099 form for that income. $600 is not a lot. So that's basically anybody and everybody that's selling more than a few items in a course of a year. The $20,000, you're probably hearing more this year because it looks like, according to the IRS, which I will link the resources for this down below if you want to read more about it. Again, I'm not a tax professional, but on the IRS website, it does say that for tax year 2025, which is what we are in right now, the thresholds have been reverted back to $20,000, which is what it used to be. It was only $600 for a couple of years. So now that just means that if you are making under $20,000 on any particular platform, they are not going to send you a 1099. That does not mean that you don't have to claim income if you have made less than that amount, because as far as I know, and if you're wanting to do what's right, any income that is reseller income is taxable income, and you should report it to the IRS when you're filing your taxes. So don't be fooled by anybody telling you that you don't have to file if you haven't met one or more of those thresholds. The reality is, if you made the money, you should be reporting it to the IRS. The third biggest mistake that I see resellers making is that they are missing potential write-offs when it comes to their reseller business. Now, I am not here to tell you what you should and should not be writing off. It is going to be different depending on your situation, what kind of office you rent and what kind of supplies you use and what sort of inventory you get in, all of that. There is a really, really good blog down below that gives you a pretty extensive list of things that you may be able to write off as a reseller. So number one, knowing what you can and cannot write off, that's really important, but I'm talking about like flat out missing write-offs. And this happened to me probably many times, if I'm being honest. I've been a reseller, at least a part-time reseller, for a little over 20 years. And so my best recommendation for this would be get a separate bank account, credit card, whatever the case may be, so that everything that you're spending on your reseller business, your rent, your supplies, your inventory, your subscription services for your cross-lister, whatever it is, you're paying for all of that with one credit card, one bank account. And that way it's really easy to track your expenses. I personally did not see the value in having a separate credit card for my business versus personal for a very long time. And then it would take me a ridiculous amount of time at the end of the year, because of course I always waited till the end of the year to get my write-offs all in order. And then I probably was missing some because I was having to go line by line and decide what is business, what is personal. So best way to avoid all of that is just open a separate credit card. It doesn't need to be like a formal business account necessarily. Just make it a separate bank account, a separate credit card that you're only using for your business expenses. That way you're not missing anything at the end of the year because it's all in one place and it's not across multiple like credit lines or anything like that. And it's very easy to track and manage. I kind of touched on number 4 already, which would be waiting until the end of the year to input all of your data. So I am totally guilty of this. I used to just keep receipts, like paper receipts, when I would go thrifting, and I would keep the receipt in a literal like banker's box. And at the end of the year, I would have this mound of receipts and I would go in and enter every single one on a spreadsheet, of course, in like March of the next year, because I didn't see the value of keeping up on it. And I wanted to just get it all done at one time. And it's super overwhelming. And it's very, very easy to lose track of receipts, to lose track of things. And it is also very easy to underestimate the amount of time it's going to take to compile all of that. So I definitely recommend keeping all of that up to date on a weekly or a monthly basis. Or I will share with you in a minute a really good ways to keep up with that on a daily basis or an ongoing basis, so that you really don't have to spend any additional time on it and the work is kind of done for you. And number 5, which isn't going to apply to everybody, but you should know if it applies to you or not. Another really big mistake that can be very, very stressful if it does apply to you is not preparing for quarterly taxes. So whether or not you have to file or pay quarterly taxes, again, speak to a tax professional to find out if it applies to you. But it has to do with whether or not you're getting withholdings from other sources. So for example, when I was working full-time at a corporate job where taxes were being withheld from my paycheck, I didn't have to file quarterly taxes from my business because there was enough withholdings. I was pretty much ending up even at the end of the year where I didn't really owe much, maybe a little bit, but I wasn't getting much of a refund because it all leveled out. But once I left my corporate job and I went to reselling full time, I did need to make a quarterly tax payment because there's no taxes being withheld elsewhere. I didn't know that at first. And so the very first year of me being just self-employed, not only did I owe a lot of money at the end of the year, but I also was penalized because I did not pay the taxes quarterly. Just make sure you know where you stand with that. And if you are somebody that needs to be paying quarterly taxes, make sure you get that set up for yourself and make sure you're setting money aside to pay that every quarter, because that can be very stressful, especially at the end of the year. If you're not anticipating having to pay a big tax bill, that can be super, super stressful. There could be potential penalties and interest and things like that involved if you can't pay it or if you haven't paid it and you should have been. So definitely know where you stand on that and don't get caught up not paying your taxes when you should have. So the biggest game changer for me when it comes to my taxes and tax time is that I have been using my Reseller Genie for my bookkeeping for a few years now. And it has taken so much stress out of my day-to-day bookkeeping and especially my end of year taxes. My Reseller Genie is a bookkeeping tool that is made for resellers by resellers. So Faith and Paul, the founders of my Reseller Genie, were resellers themselves and realized that we as resellers did not have a really good solution that we could use for bookkeeping that was geared specifically to what we do and how we do business. And they put their vision to work and they created my Reseller Genie. And so now many of these tax time problems or mistakes have been alleviated for me just by investing in this one simple tool for my business. I have my Reseller Genie Ultimate plan, which is the highest tier. And the biggest thing that you get on the Ultimate plan that you don't get on the others is the integrations. So eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Whatnot, even though I'm not on Whatnot, if you integrate those into your My Reseller Genie software, it automatically pulls your sales data from those platforms on a daily basis. So you are not having to constantly input data, and those just pull right in without you doing a thing. If you're on other platforms besides those, it is very easy to run sales reports from your platforms, really from any platforms, or you can enter it manually. And then you have all the data in one place. You can also integrate a bank account and a credit card. When I use my business bank account or my business credit card for transactions related to my business, they automatically upload into the My Reseller Genie software. So I don't actually have to do anything to track expenses in that way. And it's all right in there, everything that I've spent money on for my business without me doing a thing. There's also a place to add mileage if you're somebody that is tracking mileage for your business. It's also very easy to add in write-offs or transactions manually if for some reason they were, maybe a cash transaction or just something other than what was on your business bank account or credit card. So all of that is automatic. And we love automation because time is money, and the less time you're spending on stuff like this and the more time you're actually putting into your reseller business, the better, right? So I think the Ultimate plan itself is worth its weight in gold just for these integrations. But also you get up-to-date reporting on how your business is doing. You can see how your profits are, how your expenses are versus your sales, which platforms are performing the best for you, which categories are performing the best for you. So it's wonderful to have all of this data right at your fingertips. It actually also gives you really detailed reporting like a balance sheet, a profit and loss comparison, and most importantly, if it's tax time, the Schedule C generator. So you get this pretty little Schedule C that's all packaged up with all of your expenses and your income and all of that, all right in one report that you can take to your tax professional or use if you're filing your own taxes. So this is beautiful. Again, it takes all of the guesswork out of tax time. And there's even a nice quarterly tax estimator. So if you are somebody that's paying quarterly taxes, it will give you an idea based on the state you live in of how much you would have to pay per quarter based on your numbers and your performance to date. So definitely something to look into if you are looking for a software that's for resellers, by resellers. The time I save by not having to automatically keep track of all these things and just allowing the system and their integrations to pull it all in for me and keep track of it for me has been a game changer for me. I'm no longer questioning whether my numbers are right or if I got in all my write-offs or if I calculated things properly, because it's all in one place for me. And I absolutely love that. And I would recommend it to anybody who's a reseller. And the best news is that if you're looking to file for 2025, if you are still somebody that has not started filing or has not yet filed your 2025 taxes, if you sign up for my Reseller Genie right now, you can import all of last year's data into the system right now today and generate a Schedule C from last year. And then moving forward, it will automatically update for you up through today and through 2026 so that come next year, you're not having to do it all manually. So if you want to try my Reseller Genie, I do have it linked down below. If you use code OHYEAH15, you will get 15% off of your first month or 15% off of the year if you pay for the yearly subscription. I personally would recommend, especially if you are somebody that is just now signing up for my Reseller Genie, go with the yearly subscription. It will cover you to pull everything in from last year, and then you're paid up for an entire year. And it ends up being less per month the way it breaks down than if you were to pay monthly. It ends up being 3.5 months free on the year. So it is definitely the best value. There are different plans depending on what level of service that you need. Again, I'm on the Ultimate plan, which gives me those integrations, which I think are very, very vital for my business. But you are welcome to try any plan with my 15% off. And there's no contract with my Reseller Genie. It is month to month or through the year. So if for some reason you need to cancel it, you cancel it at any time. You're not in any sort of contract to keep it for any period of time. Their customer support is amazing. Getting it set up is pretty easy, I would say. And in fact, I did a video on that last year of how to set it up, which is for the most part still relevant. I know they've made a few little interface changes, but for the most part, which should still be able to show you what you need. So I have that link down below as well. But I really hope you found this helpful. I do encourage you to try a bookkeeping service like my Reseller Genie to keep you on track for tax season so that it's not a scramble as we approach the deadline. I do really hope you found this video helpful, and I wish you the best of luck this tax season. Hit that like button if you could on the way out. That lets me know that you like this kind of content and to make more of it. And that is it for today, friends. I appreciate you joining me today, and I will catch you in the next video.